Imagine living in a world where there was no Spotify, no Apple Music, no YouTube Music. If you wanted to listen to your favorite song, you had to carry around a small plastic rectangle that could fit in your pocket. That little invention was the cassette tape. For over 3 decades, cassette tapes changed the way people listened to music, recorded memories, and even created mixtapes for friends and loved ones. But have you ever wondered, how could a tiny strip of plastic actually store thousands of songs and voices? Today, we're taking a closer look at the incredible science behind one of history's most iconic inventions. Let's get started. At first glance, a cassette tape looks simple. A clear plastic shell, two spinning reels, a few tiny screws, and some mysterious brown tape inside. But that brown strip is where all the magic happens. The tape isn't ordinary plastic. It's coated with millions of microscopic magnetic particles made from iron oxide or other magnetic materials. Each particle acts like an incredibly tiny magnet. Together, they can store sound. Inside the cassette are two reels. One reel holds the tape before it's played. The other collects it after it passes through the player. When you press play, the tape moves smoothly from one reel to the other at a constant speed. That steady movement is essential for accurate sound reproduction. So how does music get onto the tape? It all starts with sound. When someone sings into a microphone, the microphone converts those sound waves into electrical signals. Those electrical signals travel into the cassette recorder. Inside is a tiny component called the recording head. The recording head creates a changing magnetic field that matches the music. As the tape passes over it, the magnetic particles are rearranged into precise patterns. Think of it like drawing invisible magnetic lines onto the tape. Every drum beat, every guitar note, every voice leaves behind its own unique magnetic fingerprint. Once recorded, those magnetic patterns remain stored on the tape until they're erased or recorded over. Now comes the amazing part. When you press play, a small electric motor starts turning the reels. A rubber roller called the pinch roller presses the tape against a spinning metal shaft called the capstan. Together, they pull the tape at a perfectly steady speed. As the tape passes over another tiny component called the playback head, the magnetic patterns create tiny electrical signals. Those signals are incredibly weak, so they pass through an amplifier. The amplifier boosts the signal and sends it to the speakers. The speakers vibrate. Those vibrations move the air, and suddenly, you hear music. It's almost like the machine is reading an invisible language written in magnetism. Ever wondered why cassette tapes made that satisfying whirring sound? That's because the player spins one reel much faster than normal. In fast forward, the tape races toward the end. In rewind, everything spins in reverse. Many people even rewound tapes with a pencil. Why? Because it saved battery power in portable players. Simply insert the pencil into one of the reel holes and twist. It became one of the most recognizable tricks of the cassette era. Cassette tapes weren't perfect. Sometimes the tape became tangled inside the player. People called this eating the tape. If the player pulled too hard or the mechanism failed, the delicate tape could wrinkle or snap. Since the tape itself contained the music, damage meant skipped audio, distorted sound, or complete silence. People often repaired broken tapes using clear adhesive tape and a lot of patience. It wasn't unusual for someone to spend an hour fixing a favorite album. Despite their flaws, cassette tapes changed the world. They were portable, affordable, easy to record. For the first time, people could make personal playlists, known as mixtapes. Friends exchanged them, families recorded birthdays, students recorded lectures. Musicians created demo tapes, hoping to become famous. The cassette gave ordinary people the power to record their own lives. That was revolutionary. By the late 1970s and throughout the 1980s, cassette tapes became a global phenomenon. They were used in homes, schools, offices, and especially in cars. Then, in 1979, everything changed when Sony introduced the Walkman. Suddenly, people could carry their music wherever they went. Whether they were jogging, riding a bus, or walking to school, their favorite songs could travel with them. It was the beginning of portable music as we know it today. Cassette tapes also gave birth to a culture of mixtapes. People carefully selected songs, recorded them onto blank cassettes, and gifted them to friends, family members, or someone they loved. A mixtape wasn't just a collection of songs, It was a personal message. Every track had meaning, and every recording told a story. Of course, cassette tapes eventually faced competition. Compact discs, or CDs, offered cleaner sound, instant track skipping, and greater durability. Later came MP3 players, smartphones, and streaming services, making it possible to carry millions of songs without any physical media at all. Even so, cassette tapes have never completely disappeared. In recent years, they've made a surprising comeback. Music collectors, audiophiles, and fans of vintage technology have embraced them once again. Many modern artists even release limited edition albums on cassette, appreciating the nostalgic experience of holding music in a physical format. There's something special about pressing play, hearing the soft click of the buttons, listening to the gentle hiss before the music begins, and watching the reels slowly spin. It's a reminder of a time when listening to music required patience, care, and intention. Today, streaming services give us instant access to millions of songs with a single tap. But behind every playlist and every digital track lies a fascinating history of inventions that paved the way. The humble cassette tape was one of the greatest of them all. A simple plastic shell, two spinning reels, a thin strip of magnetic tape, and millions of tiny magnetic particles working together to preserve voices, songs, and memories for generations. The next time you see an old cassette tape sitting on a shelf or tucked away in a box, remember that you're not just looking at a piece of plastic. You're looking at one of the inventions that changed the way the world listened to music forever. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating stories about the technology and inventions that shaped our world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.